Welcome back. Welcome back to the Kovacs Report. We have a big book this week. People have been waiting for this one. It's a big showdown between Batman and Bane. And boy, oh boy, if you thought Scott Snyder and Dragotta couldn't go any bigger, bolder, or crazier, you would be wrong. This is the most absolutely insane issue of Absolute Batman I have read, and I can't wait to share it with you. So, without any further ado, as they say, we are going to go through it page by page, which means there will be spoilers. So please do read the book beforehand, like the video if you can, and please do hit subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. So look at this cover. We have Killer Croc wrestling with Bane as Batman flies through the air with that all too familiar bat axe. And this is nothing compared to what goes on in this book. Now, we learn some information. But before we get to that, let's do a quick catch-up. So essentially, Batman has issued an ultimatum to Bane. He's to be at the stadium at a certain time so they can have their final battle. And it was broadcast across the whole of Gotham. So everybody knows what's going on here. Now, we do learn that Batman has only two infusions left of the venom. He needs to use them very, very wisely. We get a little pastiche thing here, and we look into the... what happened to Bruce's fens. We've got this completely grotesque version of the Penguin, a very, very angry Two-Face, and we got Killer Croc. Again, a very tragic story if you've been following it. So Bane is ready. Bane is ready, of course. Let's jump to the next page. Look at this venomized Batman. Isn't it insane? It really, truly is an abomination. And this is, by the way, the conclusion of this arc before we get some even crazier stuff going on. Now, the news broadcast that the Batman is not telling the truth. There are no monsters hidden away beneath the streets. But at the same time, please adhere to the curfew and get yourselves home early and safe. We get this one little flash here of an EMT called Grayson Dick. So that's another indication that he will be playing a part in the next arc, maybe. And he's going to be very, very different because if any other of the characters in this entire run are a sort of guide, I think we're going to get a Dick we didn't expect. We didn't expect indeed. Now, I'm laughing because I know what's coming. So Bane's another tragic story. So yes, he is the villain, and he's a terrible, terrible human being. But he's been trapped. He's been trapped in this sort of this world. You know, he's had to take the venom. He's having to do all these things for this well, I guess the Joker and the Joker's sort of cabal of bad guys. But he's doing it because he wants his island free. He fought for it as a child and as an adult, and he wants his people free. And this is his way of getting it. You see, so he does want out. And the whole clue to what's going on is that Batman's supposed to replace him and become this sort of right-hand man of this evil organization. So, the Doctor tells Bane, you should be aware, according to our data, Subject 27, Batman, likely still has at least one infusion left in their system. And Bane says, I'm counting on it. If his system tolerates the venom, he can be your new project from now on. So he definitely wants out. And it's really weird because he can't lose to Batman, but it kind of also needs to sort of lose to Batman so Batman could be victorious and the stronger version of him so that he can sort of, get out of there. So the Doctor says, fair enough, because with the recent enhancement, there's no comparison. But Bane, after this fight, your system will need a long rest. So his body is eventually going to start breaking down if any more venom is pumped into him. He says, the heart's only true nurse. All I want is rest, Dr. Arkham. One more fight, one more, and I'll have it. So for him, this is finally his way out of this organization, get back to his island, and they can maintain their freedom. Also sewn through this book is we get the big boxing match that we've been sort of learning a bit more about all the way through with Croc Jones versus some badass champ Bibowski, right? And there's a huge, huge gamble and bet on this game. He's supposed to throw the game at a certain round, and he's fallen out with Bruce because Bruce kind of gave him the impression that he doesn't trust him, doesn't believe in him. I think he was doing it for his own good. He was scared that, Waylon Jones would get the hell beaten out of him. I don't know, but they are not friends at the moment. They've sort of fallen out. So Bane arrives at this stadium. All the lights are off. And then click, they all go on. He challenges Batman. He says, here I am. Where's your champion? Little Harley Quinn is also involved in a gang of Red Hoods, I think they're called. Yes, Red Hoods. They send out all the drones. I think they're going to broadcast this. I think they're going to do some other crazy stuff too. So Batman doesn't want to waste any time. He's like, stop talking, it's time. And then Harley sets off these drones and we get more and more. There's a little boxing match that's going through, like I say. So click, boom. All right. And what does he do? Well, he drops a building on Bane, right? And again, if you think this is as sort of crazy as it's going to go, you ain't seen nothing yet. So they drop this building on Bane, and it puts a little smile on Bass's face. He says, "Welcome to Gotham." But Bane doesn't care. Of course, Bane doesn't care. And then the Batmobile comes flying in. I think Pennyworth's driving it. And the Batmobile's coming in because it fires these harpoons into Bane. You can see Bane is insanely big. But boy, oh boy, does he get bigger. So they crash the Batmobile into Bane. They start trying to drag him around, but he swings it around. Batman throws his, I think the batarangs, no, those are these little cape things, those little cape dagger things, straight into Bane's eye, pops the eye out. And then we get Pennyworth saying, "Do you know what? You know, this guy is insane. He knows violence, right? If he's met anyone in his life, this young kid, this Bruce Wayne, really, really knows what he's doing. He revels in it. Okay, he's quite happy to bring on the blood." And you see this venom, little panels mean more venom is being pumped into Bane because Batman's not using his yet. See, this is the plan. Is tire Bane out, get him to exhaust all of his venom so he can't get any stronger and he's weakened, then pump up your own venom and smack the hell out of him. Smack him, but you've got to choose the right time because you've got to survive. Anyway, Batman, as you can see, is very, very small now compared to Bane. Bane is monstrous. He is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then Harley says, "Release the green machine." And Killer Croc comes out of this pit and he takes on Bane, trying to weaken him. And they have a huge fight. Batman slices Bane and actually hurts him. It actually hurts him. He gets out of character for a second because usually has a fancy quote. As Batman says, "What? No fancy quote." And he gets towards gnats and fleas. "We should show no pity." And he just flicks Batman away like he's nothing. Batman crashes into the sort of what is it called? The audience chairs. Now we get back to that fight and we can see that Wayland's taking it like a champ. All right. But as you see, Bruce Wayne walks away because something's going to change here. Because we thought that good old Brucey and Selina didn't believe in Wayland, but they do, of course, right? Anyway, Batman's recovering. It's not looking good for Croc. It looks like Bane's going to tear his jaws apart and ruin him. But in he goes. Look at him. In he goes. He jumps up there, slices down his back, okay? He says, "I severed your spine at the thorax, which means you can't use your legs anymore." But that's okay. Now, hold on. We're going to get more. So he sends off Wayland and says, "Wayland, you've done enough. Get out of there. Thank you very much, my friend." And then we also see that during the boxing match previous to this event, Brucey went up to Wayland and said, "Listen, you know, I'm your buddy. We bet on you. You know, win the fight." So, you know, they're friends again. Of course, we knew that was going to happen. Anyway, Batman thinks he's got a bit of an advantage here. So he climbs up onto his back. Oh, God, walks across his spine. And he says, "Okay, man. Now you can't use your arms," because he slices the arteries or whatever else that makes them work. So he can't use his arms. He can't stand up. And you think Bane's down, but no, he is not. Because suddenly he transforms again. I guess that's all the venom. All the venom's being pumped into his body. He has to stand up. And the doctor, who's connected to him by, you know, little earpiece, says, "Bane, it's incredible. Your system. It's surpassing any limit we thought possible." And then Bane says, "You think you can win?" And just pummels him into the ground. Look at the size of his fist. Insane. He goes, "You're nothing. And it's not looking good for Batman. And you can see even more venom being pumped in and pumped in and pumped in. He goes, "Right, your turn now." And it looks like Batman's done. It looks like he's done, but of course not. He gets up and he calls to Catwoman because he's got a plan. Old Batsy has a plan. And Catwoman shoots her special gun, which fires these sort of syringes, okay? And we learn what happened before. And it's pumping even more venom into I was about to call him venom, more venom into Bane. It's overloading the system at a point where it is just ready to burst. And that's exactly what happens. Bane literally explodes. His body can't mutate any further. So everything just goes boom. As you can see, glorious page here, glorious page. And that happens when Batman throws that axe and it makes that final little cut and the pressure just comes out. And he is everywhere. He still hasn't used his venom, you see, and that's the trick. And we find out that 2 days ago, they extracted all of the venom out of good old Brucey boy. He doesn't have any venom in him. See, we're waiting for him to click the button and get all badass, but he had a better plan. So they've used one of these vials. And they have victory. And of course, Wayland is also victorious, but they have a problem now, you see, because Brucey boy here bet all their money and the gangsters' money, which they took from him, which you would have discovered in the previous issue, and bet it on Wayne and winning. So they're good buddies, and they made a hell of a load of money. And just trying to show that their friendship, that Bruce never gave up on him, and I like that. Okay, I like the fact that Killer Croc's a bit of a buddy to Batman in this. So, victorious Batman crawls out of the flesh and the muck and what's left of Bane. It is a huge, huge mass of grossness. And I love the fact that Batmobile, because it's like this big industrial truck, if you've read the annual, deposits him like waste in the river. It's pretty funny. And he shoves a little mask along. It's so cool. Anyway, I love it. I love it. It is absolutely mental. They're back at the hospital because, like I say, Bruce's friends are still recovering from Bane's little visit. And Two-Face saying, Bruce killed him. Okay, Bruce did it. Bruce kicked him into the bay. But I don't think these two guys are going to be very, very friendly. I still think they're going to want some kind of revenge on Bruce, even though Two-Face looks like he's sort of working on forgiveness. Now, later on, we find out that old Selina Kyle is on an aeroplane. She's on her way out. She's got this package. And she has the other canister of venom. Now, I don't think anyone knows she's got it. So what is she going to do with this venom? I don't know. Now, we get this little epilogue at the end, which is really, really sad, actually. Like, I didn't expect this. They managed to save his brain and part of his spine and his eyes. So Bane is still here in some shape or form. And the doc says, well, good morning. I must say, Bane, you're looking wonderful today. Your cells, they're just such a marvel. But I'm here because someone else wants to talk to you. And we get the Joker. Now, this is where it gets even sadder. He says, Bane, I just wanted to put your mind at ease. This whole incident, I see as a minor setback. Now, look, I know you were hoping to retire, cede the role, but my sincere belief is that it wouldn't make you happy. Not really. Lying around Santa Prisca, that's the island, his home, with the family, ? Come on, you'd love it too much. This war, come on, you'd love it too much. He says, this war. So, as your friend, I'd like to help. He's saying, basically, I got a bit tongue-tied there, I apologize. He's saying, basically, you'd miss it. You'd miss the war, you'd miss the fight, you'd miss the battle. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to take away this problem that you have, okay? And the problem that you have is that you're beholden to this island and you want its freedom. So you know what I'll do? I'm just going to bomb it out of existence. That's what he does. He just bombs the island completely out of existence, killing everybody. And that's going to make Bane even madder. I did not see that coming. And the next issue, my friends, is the Joker issue. So we are going to see some more grotesque monster mash with the Joker. But boy, oh boy, I was actually conflicted halfway through this book because I thought that Bane turning that big was just a bit silly. I was like, oh God, it's gone that way. But you know what? As I keep on reading it, I was like, no, this is exactly what you want from Absolute Batman. That's the whole point of this book, is to be bigger, more batshit crazy than you've ever been before. So it does deliver. So if you're a fan of Absolute Batman, this is an incredible conclusion to this arc. It really, really, really is. And I think it sets a precedent, all right, of what Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta are going to do next. And Jock, of course, because there are no limits here. In the Absolute Universe, there are no limits at all. You have to expect the unexpected, you know. It's crazy. So there we go. So Bane basically is this mess in a tube. His island is gone. The Joker's bombed it. So Bane's going to be mad. Bruce is going to take some time to recover. Selina's got this venom. What's she going to do with it? I don't know. It does look like our Riddler here is working with Batman. So maybe some of his friends are still going to be his allies. I don't know. It could all change at any second, because that's the thing about this book. It is so unpredictable. It really, really is. So yeah, you know what? I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. It's crazy. It's completely crazy. Is it my favorite type of Batman? No, it's not. I do like the more darker, you know, darker Batman. But is this fun? Yeah, it really, really is. And if that's what you're looking for, you get it in spades. Cracking issue. Great work by the whole creative team. Couldn't recommend it any more. There we go. Those are my thoughts. Do let me know yours. Hopefully you've liked the video. Hopefully you've hit subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one.